All right, let's just jump right into it. Look, if you've ever sat in front of a slot machine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling, right? The thrill of a win, the sting of a losing streak, and this little voice in your head that says the machine is, well, that it's thinking, that it's somehow reacting to you. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and show you how the odds actually work.
I mean, this is the big one, isn't it? Are some machines just due to win? You've been playing for an hour, it's been ice cold, and you just know. You can feel it in your bones. It's got to be due for a big payout. It just feels right. But is that feeling based in reality, or is it something else entirely?
And, this quote really just hits the nail on the head. We feel like the outcome is reacting to us, but the reality, it's much, much simpler and way less flexible. That feeling, that powerful sense that you're in a back and forth with a machine, it's an illusion. A really convincing one, but an illusion nonetheless. The real story here is all about pure, cold, unchangeable math.
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to be on the same page. When we talk about slot odds, what does that even mean? Because it's not about being hot or cold, it's something way more permanent. So here it is, the official definition. Slot odds are just the mathematically defined probability for every possible outcome in the game. And here's the kicker. This is all decided before the game is ever released. It's set in stone by the designers long before it ever lands on a casino floor. Nothing you do, nothing the casino does, can ever change it.
So let's just be super clear on this. The odds, they do not care. They don't care how much you've lost or how long you've been sitting there. They don't care who played before you, what time of day it is, or if the machine just paid out a jackpot 5 minutes ago. None of it matters. The math is the math, spin after spin after spin.
But wait a second, how is that even possible, right? If the odds are so rigid, why does the game feel so dynamic? To get that, we have to look past all the flashy lights and the spinning symbols and take a peek at the unseen engine that's really running the show.
And here's the first big secret. You see those reels spinning? Whether they're physical metal hoops or just animations on a screen, they're basically just for show. They're a fancy display for an outcome that was already decided by a much bigger, much more complicated system humming away in the background.
And this chart here really breaks it down for you. On the left, you've got the visible reels, the stuff you see. Maybe it has a few dozen symbols. But on the right, that's the virtual reel. And that's what actually determines the outcome. Instead of dozens of symbols, it has hundreds, maybe even thousands of stops. And the key thing is, it's not balanced at all. The symbols are heavily weighted. Yeah, check this out. This chart makes it so clear. On that giant virtual reel, a boring, low-paying symbol might show up on, say, 100 different stops. But that incredible, life-changing jackpot symbol, it might only exist on one single stop out of thousands. That right there is called probability weighting.
And this isn't random, it's the absolute core of how these games are designed. This intentional imbalance is exactly how the makers can offer those gigantic jackpots that get everyone excited while still making sure the game is profitable for the casino in the long run. The rarity is literally manufactured with math.
And this table just ties it all together perfectly. It shows you the direct link between how rare something is and how much it pays. 3 jackpot symbols, the probability is extremely low, so the payout is huge. Any 3 bar symbols, that happens all the time, so the payout is tiny. See? The odds and the payout are basically 2 sides of the very same coin.
All right, so we've looked under the hood, we've seen the engine. Now let's bring it all back home with what is probably the single most important thing to remember from this whole explainer: the unchanging truth of the spit. Seriously, burn this into your brain. Each spin is a standalone event. Every single time you hit that button, it is a brand new game. The machine has zero memory. It doesn't know or care what happened on the last spin or the last 1,000 spins. It's a clean slate every single time. So let's just hammer the final nail into the coffin on all those myths. The odds do not get better because you're losing. They don't get worse because you just won. They don't reset in the morning. And they absolutely do not depend on how much cash you fed into it. They are fixed. The past has zero, and I mean zero, influence on what happens next.
Which brings us to one last really important question. If the machine's odds are this constant, unchanging thing, then what is changing when you play? Why does it feel so different from one minute to the next?
The answer is
Your perception. That's it. It's that simple and honestly that powerful. The only thing that's actually changing during a session isn't the game's probability, it's how you perceive it. A long losing streak feels meaningful because, well, it's frustrating. A few small wins in a row feels like a pattern, but it's all just our human brains desperately trying to find order in what is truly, mathematically, random.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Look, knowing all this isn't a secret trick to help you win. It can't be. The odds are fixed, remember? But it does something way more valuable. It strips away all the myths, all the false hope, and it just makes the whole thing transparent. And let's be honest, in a game of pure chance, transparency is the only real advantage you're ever going to get.